So Jake, are you getting the Nintendo Switch or did you pick one up yet?
I was able to snag a Nintendo Switch on
How to do
like
that?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
What?
Um, I got it after a struggle to get it delivered to me. It said it would come on my birthday, then it didn't, and then I finally contacted Walmart and they said, "Yeah, we'll get it to you soon." And I got it, and I was really excited. I clicked the power button, and nothing happened.
Oh no.
It
What?
didn't turn on, and
What?
yeah.
Oh no, that's so sad.
So,
So
what'd you do?
yeah. So I ordered it from Walmart. Great place to order, right? But you don't really have much choice if you're gonna try to get one of these things. Um, and so I took it back to Walmart, and they said, "Yeah, since we're out of stock, all we're gonna do is return it for you." And like she started doing the return process, I'm like, "No, I don't want to. No, I'm not doing this." And she was like super confused. Like she's like, "Wait, you don't want to return it?" And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna send it to Nintendo, and they're gonna fix it for me." So I set up a repair thing with Nintendo, and then went through all their stupid instructions on what you have to pack up in the box and how you have to pack it. And you have to leave a little note for them telling them what was wrong and all your information on it. And I sent it off to Nintendo. And keep in mind, I originally got it on the 13th. Just yesterday, it got to Nintendo. They repaired it, and they started shipping it back to me today. So it should be here by next Wednesday
Oh my
or
gosh,
Thursday.
that's
So yes,
crazy though.
yeah,
Did you
yeah.
have to
Well,
pay? Did you have to pay extra for it,
It's
or was it
great.
Walmart stock price?
So yeah, they did let me pay for it extra. Walmart did make me pay for it extra technically because all these retailers are getting smart about it. They're making it so you have to buy it with a bundle.
Hmm.
So I paid $400 for the Switch. It came
So
with
that's what
Legend of
much more.
Zelda. What? It came with Legend of Zelda, which I was gonna get anyway, but it made me buy like a stupid like another charger for it because you have to like get an accessory for it. So which I wouldn't have got anyway. So I ended up, and then there's like tax and stuff. So I ended up paying like probably 20 more bucks plus those things. So
That's still not bad considering what they're going for on like
oh yeah,
eBay.
for sure. Like on eBay, it's going for $400 for just the Switch. So
oh my
I'm still.
gosh.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
It's
Call it a
weird.
W, even though it doesn't work.
Yeah,
It
I got to be
it's
the lucky one who got the broken stuff. So, of course. So, I'm finally getting the working one. Hopefully, I don't
Well,
know.
next
They
week you have
said.
to update us. You'll have to update us next week if it works.
Mhm. They
yeah.
didn't say they fixed it. They just said they're sending my components. So for all I know, it's still broken.
That's like I feel like that's just so unlucky because you've talked about like
Yeah.
offline how much you've wanted this thing and how you're just so excited and then you
Like I was
finally
so
get
excited to
one.
get it, and like I just open up the box. I'm turning on. I'm so happy. Like, and it just doesn't work. And it like I'm most disappointed because like it just ruins the whole experience of getting it. And like so whenever I think back to like when I first got my like when I got my DS, I'm like, oh, I remember that day I got my DS on my birthday, and I played like New Super Mario Bros. In like 2 days and finished it. That was the best. Now with this, I'll just look back and be like, yeah, I remember when I got my Switch and spent a month trying to get it fixed.
Wow.
So, and
That
I
is so
know
crazy.
it's kind of like boohoo. I mean, I can't like for other people, it's kind of like, well, yeah, boohoo. I can't even get a Switch. It's like, well, I mean, at least when you get it, it's gonna work probably. So,
Yeah. Well, dude, I hope you get it and you also let me know how it is cuz I feel like I've just been
hmm
very lucky. Like I feel like I'll go into a Target or I'll go into a Walmart and there'll just be like two
yeah,
Switches sitting there.
you lucky.
And I
Yeah,
have no desire to buy one. So I just walk by and I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm sure
Yeah.
Jake would want one of those."
yeah. If I would have known that a couple weeks ago, I would have made you buy one for me and then pay you back.
Sam,
Yeah.
you should upsell them though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 400.
420 for the delivery fee.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, you guys want to jump into our actual content for today?
Yeah, let's get into it. What do we
Let's do
have?
it.
What do we have up next?
iOS 10.3.3 finally came out after weeks and months and painful days and hours of beta testing. It's weird because nothing at all changed like during
So
the beta
nothing's
process.
really happened since in what the last like month and a half.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Wow.
So it was just as a lot of people anticipated and expected. It was a security update, and it was actually a pretty big one. Like there was a pretty large Wi-Fi vulnerability where an attacker could have like gained access to your Wi-Fi chip and messed it up.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of scary. And there was a lot of other bug fixes as well. So if you're on iOS 10 and you're not jailbroken, you should totally update to 10.3.3 because then you'll be secure and safe, and then I can sleep at night because I know everybody's on the latest version.
That's what iUpdate OS is all about.
Exactly. This is a secret plot to just get people updating their phones so I can sleep knowing that everybody's updated.
And then you'll release a secret, like, control everybody's phone update. And then you'll be all in part of the deal with Apple.
This sounds like the plot from the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah,
it sounds like
yeah,
the
I was
plot
gonna
from,
say.
Have you guys ever seen Kingsman?
Yeah, I was just. Yeah,
It sounds like
exactly.
that.
Thank you, Vince. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it totally does.
That's amazing.
I'm so excited for the second Kingsman movie later this year.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, but
What
yeah, But so did they ever release that beta that like you kept complaining about on Twitter for the 10.3.3 update?
Yeah, they finally released like the final version, which is this.
Okay.
So I'm happy now because it was a super long time, and it was weird because like they didn't even communicate that like even if they would have just said or like put in the release notes like, hey, working on security updates, stay tuned for more. Like they released the same release notes from iOS 10.3.2 and they did not change through betas 1 through 6. So it was kind of frustrating to try to talk about because every video I was like, hey, this new update's out. Nothing changed. Here's what might change. Here's wallpapers that were leaked. Yeah, seriously. But like people were still really interested. Like those videos still got 10,000 views because people wanted to know what was happening. So it was an interesting testing period, and I hope that in the future Apple's more transparent. But one thing that they were transparent about
Because people do care. Yeah.
was the new emojis. Did y'all catch those?
I caught a few. Yeah, I saw your video on it.
They are amazing.
I really love.
What is your favorite one from the new batch?
Favorite, breastfeeding 100%. 10 out of 10.
I think I like the chunky throw up.
I knew you were gonna take it.
The chunky throw up is really gross. What about you, Jake?
I think I'm gonna put that next to your name in my phone. Definitely.
Thank you.
I find the breastfeeding ones really interesting that they decided to include that, but definitely the blown mind one is my favorite one.
Mm-hmm. That's their creative one too.
Yeah,
That one's very cool.
I just have trouble like finding a time I'm gonna use half of them.
I'm definitely gonna use the first one, the guy with the with the beard. I'm not gonna use that. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to put the breastfeeding emoji next to your name, Vince.
It's okay.
That's okay.
No, funny enough, though, do you see the guy that's sitting with, like, the arms by his side that's, like, meditating?
Yeah.
Doesn't that look like me?
He's got darker eyebrows than you, but it does.
I mean, yeah, his hair does.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
Yeah.
that's me.
That's
That's me. They included
you
the
got-
iUpdate
you-
OS emoji.
you need to send that. You do that all the time. You do yoga and meditation all the time, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're really cool. We got Starface. We got like the kind of crazy look in the eye with the tongue sticking out. I just described him as like a crazy person emoji. We got bearded man for beard enthusiasts.
I feel like our friend Max would use that crazy person emoji.
That would be
for
like the
some
perfect emoji for him.
reason. Yeah.
So these
Yeah.
are all gonna release with iOS 11, right?
Yeah, so this is just a small preview. Apple gave us 12 on World Emoji Day, which is really cool because, I mean, technically they could have just kept these a secret, but I have a theory, and this is I have no
Mhm.
sources. I'm still waiting for my first like inside Apple iOS source to start feeding me details. But I have a theory that iOS 11 beta 4 will include these new emojis. But I could be wrong, and Apple could be waiting until like iOS 11.1 or iOS 11.2. But last year, iOS 10 beta 4 added the iOS 10 emojis, so I would only assume that the same might happen with iOS 11 beta 4. But we'll have to wait and see because looking at these emojis like blown up here is a lot different than seeing them on the actual phone, and I'm excited to get hopefully all
Oh yeah.
70 that were released with
There's
Unicode.
70.
I
And
think
this is
so.
just
Oh
five.
wow.
Yeah, there was a ton. That might be counting like the skin tones as well. I'm not exactly sure, but
Yeah.
there's a lot. There's
It's
a lot
kind
more
of
coming.
interesting. Like definitely like about the origin about emojis because like they were originally for the Japanese release of phones. They were Japanese creation because I guess it's just easier to send little pictures like that, and also Japan. And then obviously they originated from a so yeah. Now there's a whole freaking movie being made about them. So
Oh my gosh, Emoji Movie, July 28th. Get hyped.
yeah, are
Make
you
sure-
actually gonna go see that?
Wait, is it out yet? Can we go see it tonight?
No.
You just said when it released.
Is it?
Yeah,
Wait, is oh,
you
it's not
said July
28th.
28th, and then
It is.
It's
I
a week.
know that. I know that from Jack. I know that from Jack's films because he loves the movie.
yes, he does.
Anyway, emojis are cool, and I like the batch. I like the preview.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
very
yeah.
very
I like
happy
the
with how
preview,
they turned
yeah.
out.
hmm
So, what's up next? We want to talk about the iPhone 8 rumors?
Want to
Yeah.
get back into the thick of it.
Well, Jake, you said you wanted to follow up about the fingerprint sensor.
Right. So a couple weeks ago, you asked like, do we think that they're gonna put it on the back, or go on the front and go all the way? And I think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna put it on the front or on the side, which I feel like hasn't been talked about enough.
What other phone has it on the side? Isn't there a phone that has one on
Yeah,
the power
yeah, there
button?
definitely is.
I can't think of the name of it right now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an Android phone, but
Is it a Huawei phone? I don't know.
it might be. It's one of those, like, not a super popular phone.
Right, right. And to be honest, I would be okay with that. I just don't want it on the back of the phone.
I'm not entirely sure because like then all of the cases you need would have a little cutout, and you'd need to be able to slide your finger over the power button.
Ooh, I didn't actually think about that before.
Well, it's already going to be bigger anyway. So new case manufacturers do have to create new cases anyway.
If they make the power button thicker, then they have to make the phone thicker too, though.
No, that well, it's longer. Yeah, it's like longer. It's not like thicker, like it sticks out farther. Like
I was thinking
we've
like
seen in the
wider.
rumors that it's just longer right now, right, Sam?
Yeah, I mean it's showing that it's longer. Are you talking about like coming in like contact with your skin though, Vince?
I'm talking about I can't use a
Uh-huh.
case that covers the power button.
Oh, I see what you mean there. Yeah. Right, you can't.
It's
It
just every
would have to
case.
be exposed to use. Okay.
Yeah. There'd have to be like a
Yeah.
cutout.
Yeah.
Cutout, which I don't think would be that attractive.
It'd definitely be
Mhm.
weird because you would have like I
Yeah.
guess I mean I don't know. There's definitely cases that do it now though, where they have like just cutouts for all the buttons that come through. That's like a
Yeah,
super
there's
thin
definitely
case.
cases that do it. It's also, but the only thing I see it being a problem is for waterproof cases. But I don't care about waterproof cases. But that's just me. Like, but yeah, it would be a little weird because obviously they would cover the volume buttons and then have the power button exposed. I'd be okay with that, but because obviously the little switch, the silencing switch is exposed on my case right now, so it wouldn't be like the only thing exposed.
But
Mhm.
think about like your silencing switch is that it's just a little hole that you have to poke your finger through. You wouldn't be able to do that if it has to read your entire finger.
Well, yeah, it depends on how they do it. If they do like a sliding thing,
I don't think they would. I don't
And
think they would
then-
do a slide.
then it would suck. But if you just had to set your finger on there, I feel like it would be okay.
I don't know. I like the idea of a fingerprint sensor in the Switch, but the latest rumors, a report says that this is hard to believe, but Apple is still trying to figure out how to implement the fingerprint sensor into the screen,
Right.
which is just crazy at this point in the game.
It is.
Despite the fact that it releases in 2 months, yeah.
Yeah. They always
And
do this too.
I
Like,
don't.
you know, you're not gonna have any phones. Like, like
It's
it's gonna
so
sell
weird.
out, and I know they don't care. They love when it sells out at first,
Yeah.
but like, that's like, I don't know. I feel like it just kind of, it's like disrupts. Like, you're just gonna like make a ton of phones within a period of like a month. Like, and just like, that's a lot of like manufacturing and costs involved. Like, they should, like, I feel like most, if you're not Apple, you probably would have been started making your phone like 2 or 3 months ago, like started
Yeah.
manufacturing it.
Well, I believe for like the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6S, even maybe the iPhone 7, they started manufacturing basically right now. Like usually it was
Yes.
in manufacturing beginning of July, middle of July, and then it ramps up in August for shipment and release in September. But this year, still we're looking at a September release. I think JP Morgan still predicts that the iPhone 8 will be coming out in September, but at the same time, it's
If they don't have any phones to sell in September, what are they going to do?
It's gonna be really interesting. I can't remember a time. I would say like the last time I either felt this excited about a phone or there was this much news about a phone was like the iPhone 5 when we got that first news that like it was gonna be a bigger screened iPhone, and that's really all that we knew. But we know a lot about the iPhone 8, but at the same time, we don't really know anything. Like we don't
There's
know
a
where
lot
the
of
fingerprint
questions.
sensors.
And really all we have is just a lot of leaks that all say the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. And then because that's one thing that Apple's gotten better at doing is not having physical models leak, but a bunch of news or like rumors leak about the phone. And then obviously it gets to a point where there's so many that you don't actually know the truth about what the phone is actually going to be.
Yeah, I agree. We have seen a lot of leaks this year as well, which is
Yeah.
Like leaked
interesting.
images or leaked images or like leaked information.
Leaked information.
I mean both.
And I
though.
mean we've had a lot of leaked images too.
Do you guys remember back with the iPhone 6, like 3 or 4 days before the iPhone 6 event, somebody in China got their hands on a phone, like a working iPhone 6, and made a like 12-minute video completely in Chinese, like talking about all the features, how they basically reviewed the iPhone before it was even announced. And I could totally see that being the same case this year. Like somebody is going to get their hands on a working, because I just feel like Apple's really good at secrecy, but somebody's going to break and they're going to get their hands on this phone.
I remember the biggest, because so far there has been, every iPhone, there's been at least like an actual model's gotten out there. So, but this year it hasn't happened yet. Like you said with the iPhone 6.
Do you think that's because they haven't made an actual model yet?
That might be why, yeah. I remember the biggest leak they had was with the iPhone 4. That was
my God.
amazing that
So cool.
happened. About the employee leaving the phone at the bar, then this guy got his hands on it. And then he gave it to a tech reviewer, and
then the rest was history.
yeah.
Gosh, I wonder how much. I feel like that guy had to have sold that phone for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
To the tech reviewer. Like,
Well, here's my question. Sam, how much would you pay for an iPhone 8 right now?
oh, if somebody. That's actually a really good question.
Wow. Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't have that much
5,000.
secret. I don't have that much money, so like,
money.
If somebody contacted me and was like 100%, like, let's say beyond reasonable doubt, like this is the iPhone 8. Let's say Tim Cook sends me.
You know
an
it's a
email.
working model.
I'd be willing to pay.
Sam, I would like you to have an iPhone 8.
I think I would be willing to pay $4,000, and I think it's worth more than that. Like if I had like 5,000 or 6,000, like I'd be willing to pay that, and like 4,000 would be like me pulling money from everywhere I could possibly find it. Just because I know I would
millions of
make that
views.
back in revenue.
Yeah.
Pay on credit.
Gets the credit card bill and the ad. I didn't get the YouTube check yet. All right, buy Update OS. But no, seriously, oh my god, if somebody got their hands on like the final iPhone 8 working model, iOS 11, that would be very, very valuable. I could see it happening again though. Not like somebody leaving one somewhere, but I could totally see a few days before the event.
Oh yeah.
You'll see a video come out that's
Yeah,
like
that
this is the
probably-
phone.
That could happen. Yeah.
I feel
I'll
like
be
it has
excited
to.
to see if it does. I'm not so confident that it will.
I mean, they're doing a good job with secrecy this year, but I feel like it's just
I mean, I
It's
don't
too
know.
big.
Well, I'm just saying it could still happen. It's not. They're not like they've gotten a lot better at keeping things a secret. But like 3 days before the event, I mean, yeah, that could still happen. I mean, I don't know if it will, but like, it just depends on how willing that one person would be to get that one phone.
I guess all it takes is one person, right?
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. Like, all right, guys, we're flying to China.
yeah. Break into one of the Foxconn factories or whatever it is.
I would love to make a video on what it's like going inside of a Foxconn factory to see how strict they are about
Well, didn't
product
somebody do an
lines.
article about that a couple months ago?
They did. There was somebody that
was a
worked
pretty
at
big article.
Foxconn, and they were
Yeah.
talking about the security. But like, I want to get a video of like the security and just see how legitimately locked down it is. Like, if it's
That would be
as
interesting.
extreme as I think.
Yeah.
That's one of those videos that like they show it on the news and it's vertical and it's got the blurred sides and it's like just very
Really
camera
blurry.
jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it would be if you tried to get in.
It's inside of a pocket. Oh my gosh, that'd be scary.
It's your audio.
Yeah.
Well, what feature
You just
of the
hear
iPhone?
somebody yelling and then somebody getting beaten and then
That's just the end of the video.
that's the end of the video.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well, hey, I want to ask you guys, what features are you most excited? Like, if you could pick one feature about the iPhone 8 that you're most excited about, what would it be?
Which I'm
On the
most
i-
excited about.
On the iPhone 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the fingerprint sensor is inside the screen, that's definitely what I want.
That would be cool. See, I'm not sure I'm excited for that though, because aside from it just being a cool technology, it's not going to change much about the way we use our phones.
No. I mean,
Put your
other than the
thumb over-
fact that like I don't have to put the finger on the back, it wouldn't change much.
No. So
But,
I'm
like,
not sure if I'm excited for that.
obviously, though, it's important though when we get to the future and then we can have transparent phones, which is what I want, and it will never happen, but that's what I want.
Why would you want a transparent phone? I don't
It
see the
would do-
benefit of that.
Like, I just have this vision of like where your home screen is transparent, but the icons are like, it's projecting just the icons, but your background is just the glass. But when you go into an app, then obviously like it fills up the whole glass, and it still looks bright and still looks sharp and everything. But it's something super premium futuristic that's not practical at all. That
Jake's
I would
over
love to
here.
see.
He's from like 2030.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know.
He's
So
way ahead of
that's
the
why
curve.
the fingerprint sensor technology is useful, if you're wondering. That's why I
Alrighty.
want it.
Well, you
Also,
just
it's great
heard-
for like it's great for like obviously bezel-less displays. So that's like
Too, yeah.
why I also find it important.
All right. Well, you just heard
Sam,
it
do
here
you know-
first.
The 120 frames is coming to the iPhone 8, or is it just going to be for the iPad Pro?
I think Bloomberg said that they were testing 120 hertz displays like on the new iPads. I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. It is just
On the new regular iPads?
on the iPad Pros, like the 120 hertz to screen might be coming to the 8, and
it's
I'm
the iPhone
excited
8.
because
Yeah, that's great.
it's a night and day upgrade, and
Oh yeah, it is.
having like when I have my iPhone next to my iPad, it sounds crazy to say, but it feels outdated just because it's practical. Like,
Oh, yeah.
not 1-to-1 twice as good, but like it's roughly twice as good as a 60 hertz screen. It's not always going to be 120 FPS on your screen, and the frames aren't always going to be consistent, but it's pretty close, and it feels a lot different.
Hmm. Yeah, those animations got to be, as Craig Federici would say, buttery smooth.
Smooth, buttery scrolling.
Smooth, buttery scrolling.
Oh my gosh. Actually, there is one more thing I want to talk about for the iPhone 8. Price. $1,100. Who's buying right now?
No.
If it's $1,101, I'm out.
Is the screen transparent?
It's based off of the rumors right now, $1,100. No. Touch ID is in the screen. Best case scenario.
See, here's my thing: is that I don't want to pay $1,100
for a
phone that isn't finished. You know, like if they have to put the Touch ID on the back, if it's not like super bezel-less, and if it's not like legitimately better than the iPhone 7,
and it's basically the iPhone 8 we want. Would you pay $1,100? Is his question.
No, Sam, in your video you mentioned that it's going to be the iPhone Pro, but it's going to be the same as the iPhone 7. Or the 7S. Legitimately better internals. Like you can overclock GPUs, you can do whatever. Apple only has an A10X chip. Like, they can't do much better than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be like the A11, so it will be...
Or whatever it is.
I could see them...
Well, if they had a Pro, I could see them having a better chip in the Pro than the 7S.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will, because like, do you think they're going to develop 2 chips, or they're going to put a year-old chip in the 7S?
They've done that, right? Where they haven't upgraded chips in between S models. Have they done that before?
No, they always upgrade the processor.
Yeah, so either they're gonna
I could see them making 2 chips. Yeah,
they're gonna short the iPhone 7, or they're gonna short the iPhone 8. Like I don't know which one. I don't see them making one better than the other.
I could see them putting the A10X in the 7S and then putting the A11 in the iPhone 8.
iPads? There's A11s, right, in the iPads, right?
A10Xs.
Oh, really? So we're bottlenecked at A10X right now. So they would have to create a new chip.
Yeah.
They would have to make a new chip, which I just don't see happening.
Like, well, there will be.
I feel like a chip isn't really the biggest deal. I mean, yeah, it is a big deal. I mean,
what else do they have to power the phone? Like, the Pro models are all about being like better and faster and more capable at handling higher end technology.
Yeah.
Really do that in a phone. Like the gap between a high end and a low end phone isn't that big.
No, it's not. And I mean, the reason I see them doing it is that because the gap between the Pro models and the regular products has been dwindling every year now. It's just really like, I don't really view the MacBooks, the MacBook Pros, and like as, and I know they're intended and marketed as Pro products for Pro users, but I don't really view them as Pro products. They're just not. I don't view them as good enough to be pro products. Not that the MacBooks aren't great. They're awesome for what they do, and they're definitely by no case should be overlooked. But the difference between their Pro models and their regular stuff, like the iPad Air and the iPad Pro, it's just like it's not as big of a difference as it used to be.
So somebody brought up in the comments a really good point. There would be like an AMOLED screen and a higher resolution on the new iPhone, but I'm not sure I would pay $500 more just for that.
No.
So like if the screen's AMOLED and a higher resolution, sure. But Apple's entire thing, their entire phone is based upon the Retina display, which after a certain point, you can't see any pixels anyway. That's literally why they haven't gone to a high resolution in the last 10 years.
Oh yeah, yeah. That yeah, like, and I'm playing devil's advocate here because I mean I'm on your side. I'm not gonna pay $1,100 for a phone anyway. I don't care if it is the Dream iPhone 8 we want with a better chip in it. I'm just not gonna pay for that. I'm just at the money I have right now. I'm just not gonna do it. But yeah, I totally see your point. Yeah,
it's a lot of money, and I think I'm gonna get it, but I don't know if I would get it if I didn't have this job.
Oh yeah,
Because like I don't know, that's a lot of money. I mean, you can buy a MacBook for
yeah,
$1,100.
yeah,
So it'll be interesting to see what happens because I don't know. Everything see like I feel like there is the famous saying says there's too much smoke to not be a fire because we just keep hearing time and time and
Yeah.
time again expensive, expensive, $900, $1,100, $1,200. Like we're just hearing lots of things and none of them are really under 1,000 anymore. They're very much focused
yeah.
as 1,000 plus for this model. So I'm interested to see what happens. I think that when the public figures out that Apple's selling the quote unquote iPhone 8 for
Yeah.
$1,100, they're gonna freak
And
out.
they get
and be
away
like,
with these high prices because obviously when you sign up for a new iPhone, you don't pay that much money off the bat. You don't pay that like right at the beginning. And I feel like a lot of people down the line they don't realize like, oh my God, I'm paying $100 a month for this phone. Like plus my carrier stuff, like plus the phone, like actual data and stuff like that.
So here's another good point somebody brought up. The S8 already has a super high resolution screen. It already has a super good camera, bezel-less display. I don't like they have the top of the line chip in it, and they're still charging $800.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know what the difference is between that and the iPhone 8 to warrant $400 or $500.
Yeah, but
Well-
it's just the famous Apple upcharge.
You think they're gonna sell their iPhone 8 based on that? Like they have to have a reason why they're charging $400 more than the competition.
Well, they'll say that it's because of those reasons.
But what, the higher resolution?
Yeah,
I
higher
was gonna say it
resolution,
already
the
has.
bezel-less display, the sensor, and the screen.
That's the only thing is that it would be the sensor in the display, and is that worth $500? Is that and a higher frame rate worth $500 to you?
No,
Which
but
is honestly that's
but
all
it
we've
is
seen
to
right now.
them. But no, it's not to me.
No, and I don't think it will be to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have a good point. I mean, I think that overall, like once again, if there is no Touch ID, like there's some problems with the S8. Like I don't know, some people aren't the
That's the thing,
biggest
is
fan of
if there are
the
problems
fingerprint
with it,
sensor.
If there are problems with the S8, why am I going to spend $500 more than the S7 or the 7S?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be for people that want the very best.
It's for people exactly. It's for people who don't care what the price of the phone is. That's who it's for.
Listen, guys, I work a summer job. You think I can afford $1,100
No.
for a phone that does much more than the iPhone 7?
Hey, I hear iUpdateOS is hiring. Maybe
My
you can get
pay,
a job there.
then I could afford. Oh no.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, hey, we're actually going to take a quick break for an ad, and we'll be right back, guys.
Oh wait, I should see the ads playing.
It's not playing.
Fun fact, based on complex criteria, some of your viewers will see an ad. Keep on streaming. All right, so moving on to the Google Pixel XL2. Did you guys see the pics?
The pics of the Pixel?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
what do you
it's pretty
think?
much the same as the Pixel, the original Pixel, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
it's so much prettier.
It looks way
They
better.
moved well, the front is, but the back is still that half glass, half ceramic.
Yeah.
And they
or whatever
moved
it
it
is.
up a little bit.
They moved the glass up and they moved the Touch ID, the fingerprint sensor down below the glass. But other than that, the
And
back
it
looks
looks
pretty much
more
the same.
rectangular.
It does look a little bit squarer. And I think, is it me or does it look like they rounded the sides? It looks a lot like the S8, I think.
Oh, on the front you're saying?
It's rounded a bit too.
Yeah, it looks. It definitely. It looks like. It kind of looks like the on the iPhone where the side on the screen looks a little bit like it goes off the side a little bit. I mean, not the screen, but the glass. Like where it goes on the side a little bit. It looks really sharp and really nice, and if I had to buy an Android phone, I would be waiting to get this phone.
Yeah.
I
The
think that's
Pixel
my
Yeah.
the Pixel looks really pretty. And obviously, like this isn't confirmed. This is just a leaked image that Android police were able to pick up. But I think it looks really good. The bezels are a lot thinner. You're seeing that nearly bezel-less, quote unquote, design that a lot of phones, or at least side to side screen design that a lot of people have been looking forward to for 2017 phones. You've got, I mean, it's a nice looking phone. You got the glass on the top, I guess the slate color black on the back. It's a good looking phone. I think that this could very well be a strong iPhone competitor if there is if there's an event in October when they announce something new.
Yeah, I think it's a case of if it's not broke, don't fix it. The Google Pixel still is one of the best phones out, and I don't think Google changed much with it. The camera housing looks a little bit different, but hopefully they didn't change the great camera too much. And then they made the bezels disappear up front, but other than that, it should be pretty much the same phone.
Yeah. I was gonna say the camera on the phone looks really strange. Like, doesn't it look huge?
It's a lot like the Nexus. What is it? The 5, which was a phone they released like 4 years ago.
That big cameras. Yeah,
it's like a super flat and like wide lens, and it's a lot different than what the Pixel 2 or the original Pixel looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean LG's had big cameras. You know, there's phones that have the bigger flat camera. I mean, I much rather prefer it to a
look up a picture of the Nexus 5, and it's basically that same camera.
It does look a lot like that. And I know this is going back to the iPhone and kind of, but I do have to say my second favorite thing I like design-wise about the iPhone 8 is that like sloped camera hump is now gone back to that sharp cutoff. I hated the slope. It looks dumb to me.
So I think it's a really good looking phone. I am very excited. I will definitely be checking out the next generation Pixel once it's released, just because I've heard so many good things about the first generation. And I kind of regret not trying it out when that one was released, because it got so many good reviews. People love this thing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
I'm really glad that the company that created Android has their own line of phones, and it's actually doing well. Because
they're marketing it more as a phone than the Nexus, which was marketed more as like a kind of like developers get this phone to preview Android first or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You see commercials for this. You never saw commercials for the Nexus. Nexuses?
I saw commercials for the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 6,
yeah, but
the 5X and that, but
it's still a phone. But the Google Pixel, you see pictures, you see.
Yeah, they marketed the
TV.
Yeah, they marketed this definitely more towards consumers, which is good.
Yeah, I agree. Well, are you guys excited for the Galaxy Note 8 coming August 23rd?
They just released the fan edition, didn't they? The 7.
Yeah, I got confused by that, but I understand what it is now.
It's really I feel like maybe there was a better option than
they should have just cut the losses. I can't imagine anybody would pick up that phone.
I don't really understand the point of releasing that, because they're just going to release the 8 in
they're going to release an 8 in a few months.
Say 2 months?
Well, yeah, the 8 is gonna supposedly coming August 23rd, because they revealed a teaser image that literally shows a Galaxy Note pen and a bezel-less display, and it says "Do bigger things." So it's basically confirming the Note name again. But they could change it. You never know. They'll probably call it like the Notepad or something ridiculous. But it's very interesting.
What was the one that you had in Best Buy that you dropped? Was that just the Note?
I didn't drop a phone in Best Buy, did I?
Oh, yes, you did. It was tied down. It had the little wire.
That was the S8
and it was
Plus.
like the S8 Plus.
It was so
And you were trying to use it with one hand, and you dropped it face first onto the display.
That's something I found really interesting, is that they have the, as I always found as an interesting comparison, is they have the S8 Plus, and then they also have the Note 8.
Basically, the S8 Plus is the Note without a pen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting that those both exist.
To be honest, I didn't even know that it came out until we saw it in Best Buy.
Right, I was gonna say I remember seeing the Plus version like during the 6th generation, but I haven't seen it since. So
the 6 was
I didn't know they still made
the
that.
6 had the 6 and the Edge. The Edge was a bigger version that had the Edge display.
Oh, I know about that. That I just with the Plus one, yeah. It's interesting.
Are you gonna pick one up, Sam?
I am not going to step near that without a hazmat or fire suit on.
Oh my god!
Because
you hate big phones too.
I also do. I do not get big phones. I don't get the hype. I will probably like never buy an iPhone plus sized model. I have zero interest in it. I
have interest in getting the plus size.
I have the plus size, and I actually forget that it is the plus size.
That's what like my mom has one, and she's like 5 foot tall.
Really?
She said she just get used to it.
Nothing when I put that in my hand feels natural about a Galaxy S8 Plus, about an iPhone Plus model, about the Note models. I touch it and everything in my body says you should not be trying to use something this big in one hand. And one-handed usability is a really big deal for me.
It's just not that important to me. Like I always use 2 hands on my phone regardless.
I can't even tell you what I do. Like I think I do both. I guess I'm pretty sure I use. I don't know.
You have to have some massive hands if you're one-handed.
I don't though. I just don't. If I need to get, I just barely. If I do need to get to the top of the screen, then I obviously use 2 hands.
If you had an Android, you could just put all the icons in the bottom right side of the screen. But since it's an iPhone, it has to go in the top left.
Right.
Farthest far away from your hand.
I know. If I was jailbroken, then I could not. I never found it a problem. Or something that bothers me.
I just don't think I will. Sam, you are 100% against it, and I don't think you'll ever change.
I can't do it.
I only got it for one reason. It's because I watch my phone is basically a YouTube machine. So it's if I'm going to be watching videos on my phone all the time, then a bigger screen obviously is nice. Also, it's 1080p. So it actually lets me also watch 1440p content on YouTube, which the regular version, the smaller version of the iPhone, the regular version doesn't do. So
I like it because with the iPhone 7, they had the dual camera, which was a pretty cool thing. And they didn't keep that on the 7.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I was extremely upset when they didn't introduce the dual camera on the regular size 7. The number one thing that's bothered me about Apple is since the iPhone 6 Plus, they've been putting just small little features on the Plus model.
Yeah, it's the Plus model.
OIS for recording video or dual camera.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a big feature.
Right.
Well, but here's the thing. The iPhone 8 is going to be the same size as the iPhone 7.
But
somehow they managed to put a dual camera.
Yeah.
That's when exactly. That's when the iPhone 8 seemed good because then I probably wouldn't get the Plus model because it's still same size screen and the same form factor. That's what I would be okay with.
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited.
They're moving towards such a bigger screen with less bezels. It's because you can put more phone in the size of a 5-inch phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm so excited for the 8. When we saw one of the first rumors a year ago, right after the 7 launched, it was iPhone 8 to have 5.8-inch display, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" The last thing I was I want to get the new phone, but I'm not gonna buy a plus size. I'm not gonna deal with it. I don't want to. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, it's actually gonna be put in the body of something very closely sized to a 7." And I'm like, I could not ask for anything else. That is exactly.
And then they
said
it was gonna be $100, and then you said again, not doing it.
And then I was like, do it for the. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's probably a terrible decision to buy an $1,100 phone, but
not recommend it.
Not recommended. But Galaxy Note 8 is coming in August, and
do you think that people still have an interest in using such massive screens like that? Is it? Do you think it's getting more popular or less popular?
I would argue less popular, but I'm
See, I
interested
think
to
it's
hear what
getting
you
more
think.
Popular, and especially as manufacturers put larger screens into smaller devices, it's going to continue to rise in popularity.
What do you think, Jake?
Are you saying like you're saying that the Plus models are getting less popular, bigger?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, since that the smaller phones, the smaller screen, the bigger screens are going on smaller phones. Like, yeah, I feel like it's kind of a niche thing. I don't think people really care, and probably will just get like the regular size. They don't really, they won't find a need to get a larger size phone.
I don't know. I disagree with you guys both. I think there's still an interest for bigger phones, and there always will be. It's like there's always going to be interest for pro models, and there's always going to be interest for bigger 12.9-inch iPads.
I
There's
get
always gonna be
it.
interest for bigger
Right, for
phones.
sure. I get it for like it's like a pro thing where it's like, oh, I want to do, but that's not really your everyday consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I still think it'll continue to be a niche thing for like me, where I just got it because I wanted a bigger screen to watch content on.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, there's definitely a market for it still. I don't want to make it sound like people, like no one's interested. There, people definitely are, but I feel like peak big screens was about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago.
I think it was when Apple first introduced the plus size.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, right around the time of the 6 or the 6S, because that was when, I mean, the Note had been out, like it was already on the Note 4.
Really hit super popular. Yeah, that's when the Note was at its popular. The Nexus, what was it? The Nexus 6 was like a 6-inch screen.
God, I know, that was, it's just so big, so big. But people like it, and manufacturers seem to still have a very, very big interest in making the plus size models. And I think they'll still sell a lot each year, but I do think that overall it's more of a trend than something that's going to stay around. I think that the majority of people who had a big screen might go back after a year or two.
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to stay with the big screen.
Yeah, like that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I don't think it will grow. I don't think there's that many people who will. I feel like the people who got bigger screen phone will still, who got it, meant to get it, and they're gonna stick with it. But I'm just saying, like,
used to it.
Yeah, I don't think like it'll. I still, like I said, it's a niche thing. I think that like, obviously people are still going to buy it, and people interested in phones and getting the bigger screen will, but like, and they'll continue to get that, but like your everyday consumer, probably not going to.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see the future, because following phones is exciting, and there's definitely a lot of trends that we've even yet to see or come up with. I mean, who would have thought?
I'm excited to see the future.
Yeah,
with these invisible screens and
yeah.
I mean,
Johnny Ive said that he wanted that to eventually be the iPhone. So I'm holding out. I'm holding out for 2030 when that's going to happen. So,
but then Google's incognito mode. You know, when I'm buying everybody Christmas presents, everybody's going to see what I'm getting them.
There'll be another projector on the back of the phone that will put like black.
This doesn't even make sense.
Incognito mode is for, Sam.
Why are you buying Christmas presents on your phone?
What do you buy them on?
Yeah.
My computer, so that no one can see. You never buy Christmas presents. Somebody could look over your shoulder. Oh, there's the beautiful porcelain Ivy League doll you just bought your mom for Christmas. That's gone.
Did you go to Harvard?
Yeah. I don't even know what. Does Harvard have a mascot? Probably.
Dude, it's time to wrap this up.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate
Harvard to have a mascot.
We appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're listening on iTunes, if I don't forget to upload this one to iTunes, we would appreciate a review if you guys left one. If you're enjoying these on YouTube, give us your honest thoughts down below. Obviously, this show is a work in progress. We're on episode 5, and I think each show it's getting a little bit smoother. But I don't know Jake or Vince very well. I just met them randomly, and we're trying to get to know each other.
Yeah, totally. I haven't known you for 4 years.
No, definitely not. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.
See ya.
See you guys.